I'm just going to go over some markets, maybe just one. This is the YM, and I want to go over the turning point here. So as you know, the YM is in some type of, I think it's absorption, but I'm not really sure. The point is, it's in a range. All right, it's at a range at resistance. So what happened was the market went from, basically market tested that level and it tested the highs and it was an upthrust. So market goes up on 14, comes up on 9, goes down on 26. So this area, this level is what I'm looking at. Alright, so I want to see what the hell, what happened there. So you're going to notice that the market went up and a lot of volume came in. So I'm looking at, now I'm looking at the chart on the right hand side. Alright, so market went up, a lot of volume came in. There's the biggest volume, like I think 49 up waves or something. So it's just a big green. I call it big green. And then after that, big red. So something's going on. Like, why would you have, if you have volume and you have price and it can't hold at a top of a trend, it's highly likely it's distribution. Because, I mean, I don't want to get into all of that, but the idea here is it's selling on the way up, selling on the way down, and this volume and all that price can't hold. It got taken out, the low got taken out, and it went down. So what does that mean? They sold on the way up, and then they sold on the way down. So selling on the way up to get the best prices to sell. Then you can't sell on the way up anymore, so you sell on the way down. And distribution here. This is the wave of distribution. A lot of volume, blah, blah, blah. This is a wave of distribution. I'm not just looking for cause and effect and all that. But it is a wave of distribution. And then it goes down, and then it goes down again. Alright, so lower high, lower low. After that, clearly taking out the low of this high volume up wave, which makes me believe that it's a climax. So, and this is on an upthrust. Alright, it's on an upthrust. So, you just gotta ask yourself, like, why? This is where the logic comes in, like market logic, where you say to yourself, if all that volume came in and it's buying, why did the low get taken out? Like, wouldn't smart money defend its positions? So if the low was taken out, then there's a lot of trap volume there. There's a lot of other problems there. And people want to get out. So when price goes back into that area, they're going to sell. Why? To break even. That's why. Why? Because there's something called fear of loss. And right here, they're in a losing position. So that fear of loss will cause them to exit the position when it goes to break even. Around break even, right? So breakout was here, so it goes right back to the breakout area. Where it says BO, that's a breakout. So it goes right to that breakout area, which is where people buy, right? So once it goes back there, start selling. Exit, 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 exit. Anyway, so it goes up, up, and then selling pressure comes in and confirms the downtrend. And you test, and it goes down until it climaxes here. So this is where it gets interesting, because you have a climax, you have a secondary test, you have another test, you have shortening of thrust, you have a spring, etc. But it's a spring and all of that in a downtrend. And you have this climaxing action. So then this demand comes in. Now here's the thing. Do you know that if this demand can turn into an uptrend? You don't. And it confirms that it's not going to become an uptrend because it doesn't make higher highs. And it doesn't take out the climax. And I mean, that's all you got, right? So, and it turned out that this was preliminary demand. Why? Because it's testing the form a support level, and people are buying there. So it moved sideways a little bit. Right, preliminary demand, ding ding ding, but sellers are still there. And then it goes down, and now more demand. Now this demand, this is important because you have prior demand in the background, so it makes me think, okay, then the initial accumulation is there, now this demand is in, it's big wave, it's a good volume, it has follow through, etc. At the same time, when I go to the higher time frame, there's really not, on a lower time frame or lower brick size, it looks like a lot of volume, but here, where's the volume? So this is how you get a complete picture that, you know, this is in trouble. So I don't like this rally. I don't like it. And I also don't like the fact that there's no climaxing action. Some traders will like it, but in my opinion, if you have high volume, that means that accumulation here would have started. If you don't have high volume, I have very little to go on. It could have started, but I don't know. Some will say this is the background of accumulation right here. Possibly. I don't know. And so what I want to get at is, when you have a climax, it is telling you that accumulation took place, and it is, I don't want to call it insurance policy, but a higher probability, because if price goes back into that area, buying pressure will come in because sellers are underwater, and it can give you a bounce. Do you see that climax here? I don't. I see a breakdown. I see down and down. Now that doesn't mean it can't go up. It just means that where those sellers are doesn't give me confidence, because they won't have anything to cover here. So that's the logic. Anyway, so what are the key points to know? There's some other key points also. The market went to that same level before overnight, and then it just tested that with an up thrust. It's doing that. That's one thing to note, that overnight high, right? Or places where there was a climax and pressure down is quite important, right? Because it's climax and this, all the rest of the move just tested that area. That's an important point to note. But the traders are in the morning, they're trading in the morning, so it waited till the morning time to sell off. That's an important thing to note. What else is important to note? I don't know. Nah. I think this wave here, where you had only 1 minute and one brick, followed by selling like that, that's also very important. It says that right there is the lack of demand, followed by a breakout, another breakout, and market going down. So that's important. What else is important? The other thing to note here is that you had a potential climax, and then a lot of demand right here. So it's a lot of time there's preliminary demand that is going to warn you that the market is about to turn, but you don't know for sure. And what happens is there's a spring. So this is someone's buying on the way down, buying on the way up, but did not confirm. Did possibly a spring and then a reversal back up. Maybe that's the case. I don't know, because different situations can occur here. But this would give the bulls something to back on if it takes this area out, right? And right now we don't see that much selling pressure at all. So that's to keep in mind. And you also want to keep an eye on the ES. because the ES has similar behavior, and it's a pretty big wave on the ES. So if it goes higher, it can pull, you know, the markets all together up at this point. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.